Welcome back, 5 Aces.
Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. The chores are done, the kids are in bed. What better a time to unwind and relax than with some competitive RTS strategy? RTS strategy, yeah, that's a bit redundant one. Let's bring it on. We've got ourselves here Mr. Blackened, who is a little bent out of shape, if we're being honest. And let's see if we can now fulfill his redemption arc. That is a mandatory corporate mandated redemption arc this time around against Milkman. We've got ourselves a Soviet mirror at our hands. The classic Ukraine versus Russia conflict. So I'm not gonna make any jokes here, refrain from that for the purpose of good taste. Rather than that, we're just gonna be observing the army movements. Blackened, that's probably 20 rifle start if we were to guess. This map is a relatively short rush distance, bit of a risky one with those explosive barrels in the way. Never seen an MCV getting blown up on explosive barrels, but they should in theory take some significant damage because they have got light armor as soon as they unpack. But would be a funny one. Alright, so what's happening in the world? Right here, we're having complete climate change. I've talked to this with my students at length because I recently found out that you can, as of now, you can grow kiwis in Austria. And we have now not only gotten a fig tree in our garden, but also kiwis, which means that the dog, what a perfect line of sight enhancer here. Great vision for Blackened. He's going to be able to push back the infantry of Milkman with relative ease. Oh my goodness, that's a massacre. And the dog just chilling. Look at that dog. What a savage animal. Just chilling, licking his paws while there's AK-47s firing from all directions. This dog is just chill. Good boy. You deserve a treat. Anyway, the engineer, you okay, buddy? Engineer is a death wish. Chasing after those 3 rifles. Okay, so yeah, we actually do have the climate necessary to facilitate the growth of kiwi trees now, and as a result, I produced the first glasses or jars of kiwi jam, which is kind of hilarious in a way that's not hilarious at all. But apparently, climate change does have its perks, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Flak truck out for Blackened, so Blackened is on the way. And Blackened is gonna find the engineer, presumably. Not in time to stop the capture, but it's gonna be real annoying. It's gonna be able to poke them back and also kill the engineer. Derek will be taken, but I think there is one Derek. No, okay. So Milkman went towards Derek on the right hand side first. The engineer does escape, that's kind of crucial. Man, I love Flak Truck Micro. You can get so much value out of it. Oh, this is gonna be nasty though. First shots plus health advantage for Milkman's Flak. Ooh. And with that, the engineer is also rude. Engineer is also in a very bad spot, but decides to keep it on the down low. Little covert operations. Oh, by the way, daily reminder or weekly cast reminder, in-cast reminder, please purchase the OpenRA, the Command & Conquer Remaster collection on Steam. It is $10 right now. It is on a discount, a deep discount if you will, and it is going to signal to EA, hopefully, signal boost that there is definitely the need, the desire, the want for a RA2 remaster, which would be absolutely fantastic. Also, some of those games are just still played competitively, so there's that. Flak Truck plus a heavy tank for Milkman. That is a combo that I haven't seen in a while. Is Milkman just going tanks? Wait. He is going all in. Where's the MCV? There is no MCV coming here. Okay, this is just a straight up tank push for both players. Both players opting to forfeit their MCV. I really don't know if that's a good idea on this map. Oh, okay, Gatekeeper build. Blackened is probably just going to expand to the bottom right here and mask it with some aggression. The dog, by the way, is still alive. I'm just proud of this boy. This dog has lived, or girl, I guess. This dog has lived longer than Laika. Yeah. Probably is a descendant of Laika. They're really durable. Okay, construction here has been set up. There is a potential flank with the army from Milkman roaming around on the right hand side of the map. Oh, okay, it's been revealed. This is a relatively small incursion, could be dealt with very swiftly. Second tank is coming in. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, Milkman had the same idea. He is completely defenseless here. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be a massacre. Look at how they massacred my boy. Oh, 2 Ortraks down already. And now the tanks and the army are gonna start bleeding in. This is a very, very bad spot for Milkman to be in. He is gonna be able to rebuild. He's gonna be able to even win the engagement, but he already lost 2 harvesters, and that is never, ever a good sign. In a game where eco trumps everything else, losing 2 harvesters is akin to going out of a job. So as a result, Blackened firmly in the driver's seat. The ball is in his court for now. Okay, where is the army from Milkman? Did he pull back? He did. Oh, that's no bueno. MCV is now roaming to the north. Okay, he actually purchased a replacement MCV, or a secondary MCV. So, that is going to leave us with an awkward spot because he's missing the money for it. That's basically 2 tanks worth of money invested into something that's not doing anything right now because it needs to rebuild. Milkman in a very bad spot. And the army graph, I'm pretty sure, is going to reflect this. Let's see if we can find any flanks to make good on this. Army value it's way closer than I thought, by the way. I thought this would be a 2-to-1 ratio at that point, but no. Apparently, he's been good. He's been doing a good job just spending his money. The income is also still even at parity or even ahead for Milkman. Huh. 3, 4, 6 harvesters. Yeah, weird. 6 harvesters, and Milkman does have 6 at this point now. Army obviously has been cleaned up. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's not get the bigger picture. Milkman splitting up his armies. Flag truck being sacrificed for some scouting information, if he paid attention, that is. Blackened does not yet know about this expansion, but he's about to find out in a hot minute. He's gonna run face first into flame towers. Fortunately, there's a couple of heavy tanks to absolutely demolish flame towers in a matter of mere seconds. Okay, this base is very, very dead for all intents and purposes. So what you want to do, by the way, in this case, is close the gap with the tanks so your opponent cannot run away there with the comm yard. Not that it would have mattered here. Now you should be looking for the econ. Yep, found the ore refinery. That should be it. Easy kill on the harvesters. And also, he should just kill the ore refinery, just to finalize the death here. Yeah, good job. Now we can just either retreat or trade off the armies. Either option is fine. He's going to be ahead regardless. But this is always the classic rebound. So at this point in time, there is a distinct army advantage for Milkman because he traded his econ, but he lost his army. And this is a timing window. This represents a little brief window. If you're smart about RTS, you're now going on the counter-aggression, because if you wait any longer, you're going to get outskinned. But there is this brief window. Within this brief window, you have a shot at just bouncing back really hard. Blackened has destroyed a lot more than Milkman has. It's just a miracle that there's still so much, almost at economic parity. I guess just earned more. Doesn't look like it, but it's weird. The econ graph in this game is telling a very confusing story. Okay, Radar Dome out for Milkman. I actually like this choice. It's just a bit contentious because on this map, this is relatively large. So what you want to get on radar tech is maybe 1 or 2 yaks, maybe 3 yaks to snipe all refineries. But you do not want to overcommit into V2s. Not that V2s aren't good. The problem is they're slow to rotate and slow to dish out their damage. So with V2s, you always want to have a concentrated map. You want them on a dense map, on a small map, with few entrances to cover. The more open the map, the less effective V2s and any kind of siege artillery units are, because they need a strong point to defend them. Otherwise, they're just gonna get outflanked. Outflanked, killed, maimed, destroyed. Alrighty. Right hand side we've got a little flank, and this could prove a bit of a problem for Blackened, who doesn't have any defenses here and can't muster any field defenses either. But Milkman has other worries. His base is about to be obliterated by Blah. The tanks are starting to dwindle. So this army is still stoppable at that point. Okay, now this would be the time for a V2. Right hand side, okay. He's found some structural damage, some economical damage as well here. And Blackened is pulling back. He is sending half the army into the flame tower, while the other half is going home to defend. So he's feeling threatened, it seems like. This push has been stopped. Right hand side, yeah, that was pretty good play by Milkman. Just this little diversion, causing so much of a ruckus that the entire army went back home. It's like the guards in every stealth game ever. What's that? Must have been the wind. And this is the player character just sneaking back into the shadows. What's that? Yup, that's exactly it. Man, I remember, what's your favorite stealth game? I remember Thief 2 and Deus Ex. Those two were the stealth games for me. It was just like, take out one guard with the sleeping dart or with the blackjack respectively, and slink back into the shadows and watch as the confusion unfolds. Deus Ex was pretty amazing about that, about the guards' reactions though. So yeah, very distinct advantage now for Blackened. Starting to look good. Even though, I've got to say, Milkman's not out of this, and he's been doing an amazing job being resilient and bouncing back in terms of the econ, and in terms of army value as well. He never fell as far behind as I would have suspected him to. But that's about to change, I guess. Spy plane coming out. Tier 2 has been revealed. The airfield hasn't done anything yet, plus he is Russia. Him being Russia doesn't help his case. No parabombing run anywhere available. And Blackened has just such overwhelming forces here. I feel this has reached a point of not being stoppable anymore. Single file formation, bad news. Bad news, Bear. And the tank's knocking at the door. I think Blackened this time has got a redemption arc. It's looking very good for him. He's going to trade off all the armies. Trying to flank here, trying to get a pincer maneuver in, but there is just no army mass left for Milkman. Yeah. Milkman's army has gone to fetch some milk and is never going to return. RIP. There comes the tank hammer, converging from both sides, building a united front and running all over the base now. Yep, this game 1 is done and dusted. Good play from Blackened this time around. Being on the aggression, and it felt like, unlike the games against Cav, he's just found the answers. He's just found his window to be aggressive. Raided him down. Oh! Himsui actually gets away, but GG called regardless. Okay, so that's a 1-0 up for Blackened. This time around, it's looking better for him. Milkman? We haven't casted too many games of his. I'm curious to see whether he can bounce back in game 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
And here we are back on Overlook. I don't think back is the right word. I don't think we actually have casted this map before. So it has a comm center and an oil derrick that is far out on the other side of the ridge. So basically I think the idea that the mapmaker was going for is you have to decide whether you want to go for the comm center first to get vision, but then you risk losing the position regardless because your opponent pushes in early. Or you go for the derrick first but go in blind and you have to go the long way around. So your opponent basically has almost a rush potential on your derrick. Interesting. And otherwise the map seems to be very symmetrical, even the buildings placed being almost identical in terms of footprint at least. And we've got ourselves Russia versus France this time around. Okay. Potential late game tier 3 shenanigans. I would like to see that. Man, Blackened. I think it was Blackened last season who popularized the Tesla tank rush. And he had some moderate to decent success with it as well. So yeah, I'm just wondering. Ooh, this is a gem mine. Hegemony, basically. So you can build power plant here, barracks here, and then the first refinery on the gems. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Oh, really nice flank. Finds the medic of all things. At least it wasn't the engineer. But it's annoying that he had to trade off the medic here. It's gonna lend him it's gonna take a lot of staying power away from the army. Oh, Blackened running rifles first into the gunfire. The civilian doesn't care. It's yeah, guys, just keep on keeping on. I'm just here, minding my own business. Oof. Yeah, one story I can share. Something that happened recently is... Ooh, nice force fire. We had an IRL threat of... God. We had an IRL threat of a student threatening to... What are you committing? Threatening to shoot up a school. And that happened in Austria. It was obviously... It was prank. You know, prank and lose air quotes because that actually is a felony. And it is one of the worst things you can do as a student, but I guess that they afterwards said that they just wanted to get a day off school. They're gonna get a lot of days off school right now. But as a result, it was not at our school, but it was close by. And as a result, basically all the schools had the police show up for one day. And that was... I'd never experienced anything like this before. Usually we're a very peaceful and quiet state and country, and nothing ever happens. And all of a sudden we had the police showing up, marching through the buildings and just securing everything with with stern looks at least, if not with guns. It was very, very weird, very tense. So my heart goes out to everybody who has that on the regular, especially our friends from the United States, from overseas, because yeah, tends to happen there. Okay, back to the game. Away from serious business. This is Milkman with a really good early game this time around. So, what's the economy looking like? Yeah, he's 1k ahead. That's just Blackened bouncing back, never mind. Okay, light tank build for Blackened. We've seen this popularized by, I guess, Cav and the likes, but it has enjoyed some success. Oh, Blackened is walling off here on the southern perimeter. I think the light tanks got revealed here. They've gotten revealed now. So Milkman knows that there is something coming. Push is imminent. He's got his armor sitting here. So he's going for an MCV early move out. No, that is his expansion. That is just a 4-minute 40 expansion. Relatively greedy timing, the one that I usually go for, the 420. Blaze it MCV. Blaze it straight to the next ore field. 5 harvesters for Blackened, so his econ is pretty good for the time. 2 light tanks only, so this is not an all-in light tank push, it's rather just some aggression, but no overcommitment. I like that. A very greedy build for Milkman, who is not opted for any light vehicles whatsoever. He's just gone straight up macro mode. He's going full on Anju. I think Anju does this a lot. Just building mass infantry, but skipping the vehicles until you have access to tanks. And as a result, the armor advantage right now obviously lies with Blackened, but Milkman does have a solid army 4. So, what are the army stats looking like? Ooh, massive lead for Blackened. So if we can convert that somehow into some pushing power, he is gonna be golden. The fences here are completely giving away the army movement. That's a bit annoying. Oh, Milkman should know there is directional. Yo, buddy, there is directional audio in OpenRA, so you know this is coming from the north. You also just lost a lot of scouts there, so this should probably clue you in as that there's something wrong here. Something wicked this way comes. Oh, he decides to commit into... This is not a good place to commit into. What are you doing, my friend? You lost almost all your rockets. Oh no! This has gone terrible. He's killing the barracks. He's not really doing anything useful here. Needs to kill the MCV off, and yeah, he is now gonna have to contest with a massive push out. This was terrible from Milkman. There is no other way of putting it. Yeah, the tank just sitting in the back lines and being like, and now he just moves back. What? What was the idea here? I'm not entirely certain what that was all about. This was just a complete misjudgment of the situation, and this one push just straight up cost Milkman the game. I'm not usually one to criticize those things lightly, but that was a terrible push. First, infantry goes in first, tanks the pillbox, tank is behind. Then, he does not inflict any structural damage, he lets the MCV escape, he lets the important infrastructure alive but kills the barracks, except the last one, so there's still a functional outpost here for Blackened. And then he sends the tank to the back to just watch while the infantry died to the pillbox. That was pretty much a PSA on how not to construct a push. Yikes. That was a bit of a one-sided one. Yeah, down go the civvies, the last witnesses here. Whew. Army graphs. One of those players has been just collecting a bit more assets than the other. Economy is also not looking too hot anymore. Blackened's income is completely insane at this point. He's got more than half the map. He's gotten the expansions locked down, especially the expansion that rightfully would belong to Milkman, so he can just play it up Zerg style and gobble up the map now if he wants to make sure, but I really don't think there's a large comeback window here. He's gonna push into a row of flame towers, but there is no infantry core, so it's not as scary as it could be. I mean, some decent hits, but there are a lot of tanks to soak up the damage now. I don't think the flame towers are gonna be able to withstand the tide. There is a Kanyard. Yep. Spectators already disconnecting, that usually just means one thing. Game is being called 2-0 for Blackened, who is now back in the race, I guess, at least against the lower brackets, the lower half of the bracket. He is doing a good job. So Blackened definitely a little out of shape still, a little less one-sided than it could have been. This was honestly just a loss due to Milkman's blunder, but yeah, he's still up against some of the stronger players. We're going to observe his further positioning in RAGL. I'm curious to see whether he can bounce back. That's from Milkman. Let's also watch some of his games, because I do have some replays stashed away. Yeah, that's been a good one. A bit one-sided, but still some back and forth. The first game, there was some resistance from Milkman. Right, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. 5 Aces, out.
Battle control terminated.